You are now entering the Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show. We in the building. High priestess in the building, didn't let my fears kill me. Transmuted my pain in that cleanse in the rain. Found out I was working and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became. Good morning. Good morning. Good motherfucking morning. I don't know why my lips look so red today. It's Monday. Woo! Get the fuck up, right? It's a Monday morning. So good morning. As the notifications go out, you guys will realize that this is pre-recorded today. It's not live. So good morning to everyone who is in the comments. You guys socialize with each other in the comments while you watch this. This is your Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show, brought to you by Divine Moon Goddess Healers and Readings.com, where all of your questions get answered. And remember, go over there if you want some counseling, you need some guidance, you want to pick between jobs, you want to see if a business opportunity is going to pay off, you want to see if someone's being sneaky and creeping. Hey, come on over there and get your full in depth. I also do healing sessions, though. It's not just about tarot, okay? I also have classes. Look under the shop. And if you've missed my Crystal Live show yesterday, go back and watch it on the Divine Moon Goddess channel, as I do have some really cool things. And I have some, of course, crystals. Duh. And if you guys are ever looking for particular items, let me know. I will look for it as I'm doing my shopping. And we are also brought to you by Shanti Rentals, Inc. Okay. And so it's Monday. I know, fuck Mondays. I know everybody's like, oh, got to go back to work. The kids went back to school though, right? So that's a good thing. We're going to get into it this morning. I want to talk about a few things this morning. We're going to get into it right after this commercial break. So check out my new Oracle coming. It will actually be printed for 2023, but pre-sale option is available only right now. And only on my website can you reserve your copy and be one of the first people to have my second Oracle deck come in. So check it out. All right, so that was that. So hopefully, you guys are gonna go over there to the website and request your copy. It will drop in 2023. I don't have the exact dates, but 2023 it is coming. I do want this one to have a different kind of case, which costs a little bit more. So we're planning for that. Um, Other than that, let's get into it. This is like part 5 of Twin Flame, right? So this morning we're gonna get into it in Twin Flame. You guys know I am a Twin Flame specialist of sorts, right? I'm a Twin Flame guide, Twin Flame support, guidance, also someone who assists you in your twin flame healing. The term twin flame has been taken and ran with, right? A lot of people like to run off with the twin flame title, like if it's the all ending romantic partnership, and in some ways it is, right? Because that person is, your divine masculine or divine feminine, but people get carried away in that aspect, and so they forget or they miss out on the true aspect of what a twin flame dynamic is and what it's for. So I want to talk a little bit about that because as I post in the group, if you're in my soul tribe, then you know I post, and I have been posting more about twin flames to get a little bit more reaction in the group and also see where people's mindsets are at. I cringe when I hear someone who says they're in a twin flame dynamic and they hate their twin. And I cringe because when you're in that moment of hating your twin, you're in such a low vibration. And I want you guys to understand a couple things. Um, if you hate anybody, I don't care who it is, if you hate them, right? That's a level of anger and a level of just shit energy that keeps you vibrating low. You can't have hate in your heart while having love in your heart and expect to rise to another vibration. You just can't. If you're hating someone, that means that you have not taken the time to forgive, whether it's yourself or the person in the situation. One of some of the biggest things that I hear with twin flame are, am I with my twin flame? And I want to be clear on this when it comes to twin flame. I don't care who's gifted. I don't care how gifted, how much they can tap into Akashic records or whatever they can do. No one, absolutely no one, can tell you who your twin flame is. Okay. And I want to say that because there's a lot of people who are very gifted. And let me tell you, I can feel the energy. The cards kind of look a certain way when they come out, but that still doesn't mean concrete this person is your twin. You can call this person your twin flame all day long. That's just a name you're giving the person. The true ways to learn, if you've watched the other parts of the twin flame, go watch those. I think there's like 4. I'm gonna check before I post this just to make sure I got part 5 or whatever on here where we've talked about this before. You in your heart space will be the only person who knows. You know why? Because you're the only person in your heart space besides the other person that's dealing with it, right? I want you to focus more on the ways that what you shouldn't be doing, which we know the twin flame dynamic can get to a very obsessive, compulsive kind of energy, right? One of the things is you will be the only one to say this is or isn't your twin flame. And I do want you guys to understand it is not your job to convince your twin that you are twin flames. Let me say it again. It is not your job to convince your twin that you are twin flames. There's a point where you have to understand, you understand the dynamic, but they don't have to understand the dynamic. They never need to understand the dynamic. They never need to understand that how powerful you two can be together. You got to let that go. You got to let that go. With 100 other fucking things, you got to let that go. The other part of it is sometimes I hear, why did this person show up in my life right now when we're not ready, right? That's like one of the big ones. And your twin or you as a twin show up in your person's life for many different reasons. Doesn't mean that you're going to run off into the sunset. And a lot of people have like these levels. I've heard karmic partners, I've heard false twins. They get you set up for your twin. But honestly, I don't believe that. I do believe we have karma with everyone. I've actually seen my own, and I only can speak from um, my personal experience, where me and my twin, we have karma, but a different type of karma. Our karma is not tit for tat karma. Like I didn't fuck him over in a past life, he didn't fuck me over in a past life, and now we're paying for it. It's more of just the karmic energy of the past life, whether it was the one where I was murdered very harshly in front of him, or which brings a fear of this coming together, because then we lose each other. So, and I can't tell you what he's felt on his end, because that's his story and his journey. I only can tell you from my end, because this is my journey, right? And I think also, you know to think that you don't have karma with your twin flame is a misconception, a huge misconception. That actually will pull you away from your twin and make it a longer destination for you to get back to your twin, because you will be looking for your twin when your twin is just right in front of you. And it's normally the person you least expect that is your twin. It's normally not the person that you want. Now, some people really want their twin to be their twin, but most of the time, what I've noticed, true twins are running from their real twin. They're running because, one, they don't want to admit that this is the person that they fucking love. So many reasons why. Because they've demeaned this person, they've talked shit about this person. And let me tell you, if you're in that energy where you're talking shit about your person to anybody, you're still in a low vibration, a very low vibration. And you have to take a step back and really think about the words that are coming out your mouth about this person. A lot of it is, oh, this person won't show up, or this person has abandoned me, or go back to what it really is. This person has abandoned me, right? This person won't show up for us. But you got to remember, it's not just about that person. I guarantee you, if you start to turn your attention on you, you will see that you are not the elevated high person that you think you are. One of the other misconceptions a lot of twins do is, because one will be seemingly very spiritual, so that one thinks that they are all high, all knowing, elevated, and above the other one. And from what I've noticed is that most twins are neck and neck in where they're at. Your person may not be all into spirituality, where they're with crystals and tarot cards and things like that, but they may be very in tuned other ways that you don't even realize. So there's a misconception that one twin is all elevated and the other one is lacking. That is what people tell you. And I want you guys to be very careful, because there's a lot of garbage information out there on twin flames. And because it is such a unique and beautiful dynamic, anybody can make up anything about twin flames and post it. Anybody can make up anything and post it and be like, here's your twin flame, 10 steps to get your twin flame. And it's not that easy. It's not that easy to just 10 steps to get your fucking twin flame. One, if it was that easy, there would be more twins not struggling. So there's a couple things that, and I know we're kind of bouncing all around on this show this morning. So the dynamic is rough. And the only reason why it's so rough is because when your twin runs, you're rejected. And the rejected from your twin is like, it's like heartbreak you don't know, right? It's like deep cuts, deep as fuck. Like, how could this person at all the people like abandon me, right? But I want you to know that it's not them abandoning you. Most of the time when someone is running from the connection, they're running from themselves. They're not even running from you. It's not you. But because we're such selfly indulged people, we take everything fucking personally. Everything is attack on us. Everything is something that we did. Most people struggle with that because they can't get past that. It's like, why am I not enough? And most twins, and I work with a lot of twins, pretty much everyone who fucking comes on my way is a twin flame. Um, from readers that come aboard in my group to clients. Okay, ever since the beginning, I've just had a huge amount of twin flames come to me, and it's because at the end of the day, love is what's going to prevail. You have to come to a place of that understanding, acceptance, and patience with each other. Um, but we don't have that because everything is an attack on us. Everything is personal. If your twin doesn't show up for you, it's, oh, I must be lacking something. Oh, they went with someone else. Oh, that person must be better than me. Why is that person? If we're twin flames, you start beating yourself up in the whys. um and I've seen it happen because most people are like, well, I'm ready for commitment now. But spirit is like, but what if you two are not ready to be in the dynamic as twin flames? It's not your normal, and I don't want to say quote unquote normal, right? But it's not your average connection. We all know that twin flames have a energetic like power that happens when the two twins are together. We know it's phenomenal. You guys have felt it if you had a twin, right? Um, and so we know that that power together is fucking crazy. So we also know that we have these two beautiful light beings that come together, and this explosion happens in the cosmic, in the universe. And we also know that darkness comes. We also know that twin flames are attacked constantly by lower level energies. And not that they make us do shit, because no energy makes us do shit. There's not one demon, devil, whatever the fuck standing and making us do shit. We are the ones that self sabotage everything because we allow the whispers of those lower level energies to get in our head. We allow the doubt, the fear to get in our head. You got to remember, as a twin flame, lower level energies will use people next to you. They will use people sitting right next to you that you talk to every day that are just slowly and small, microscopically putting negative thoughts in your brain. And you won't even realize it. You won't even realize it that you have someone sitting next to you, like next to you. And they're not a bad person, but those lower level energies are using them. You got to remember, a lot of your conversations with people have to end about your twin because of that reason. You really need to seek guidance with someone who not only understands the dynamic, but has that compassion and understanding of the dynamic. If you're talking to people who don't get it, if you're talking to people who hate their twin, guess what happens with you? You start to hate your twin. Um, at some point, you have to make a decision on, is this my twin or not? And if it is, then you stick with that until something shows you that it isn't. But you're going to be the only person. I've seen tarot readers, including myself, where I've had people try to tell me that my twin wasn't my twin. And I would just say, thank you for that information. But my gut and my heart told me something different. So no matter how I tried to, I actually tried to prove that my twin wasn't a twin, that we weren't twins, that this twin shit, whatever. It was like more like, no, I'm going to prove to myself that this is a karmic, and I've just been sitting in this very karmic space, and I need to learn a lesson. And that only proved the latter, which proved to me that no matter what happened, that my heart just absolutely had this love for this person. And one of the biggest things, we can go through all of the steps and go watch the other episodes, you guys. If you're looking for twin flame information, definitely go to my YouTube channel. Is probably the easiest one to find them. You can go to the playlist, look through the playlist, and see where it's at. But one of the things that I feel the most about twin flames is that no matter what, the pureness of love for this person comes from nowhere in this life. When people always ask you, why do you love me, right? Or if you're in a conversation, right? Normally, someone wants to know why you love them, right? It's like, why do you love me? And most people are like, I love you because you get me flowers, and I love you because you always think of me, and I love you because you always make breakfast, and I love you because you clean my clothes. There's all of these reasons why people love you. If you look to your normal conversations, people love you for something. They don't just love you. It rarely do you find someone who's just looking at you and they're like, I just love you. There's no reason why. We as people, again, our ego needs a why. We need a validation of that we're doing something right. So if I need this validation, I'm sitting here like, okay, so why do you love me? Well, I love you because you're beautiful, and you're so sweet, and there's all of these things. What I noticed with my twin, there was none of that, because our lives took us apart, where we were having conversations, but we were not in each other's lives to do anything for each other. So it was like, how do I love this person when we haven't had a life together? And especially before, before I could have my past life regression and started doing some of these deeper meditative state healings and stuff, it was driving me crazy. It was like, how can I be so connected to someone where he hasn't done shit? He has done nothing. So how? And I couldn't wrap my head, but that is what is proven to me about what unconditional love is. Unconditional love is when you love someone for no reason, no purpose. Your heart is just exploding for this. Just like our creator energy loves us for no fucking reason, right? It doesn't matter if you believe in God, creator, universe, whoever, right? That energy loves us for no reason at all. And it's the same pure, loving energy. So if you could get past thinking about your person in terms of what they've done for you, because if you talk to people, be like, well, what have they done? They haven't done that. All they keep doing is getting you crying. One, your twin is not making you cry. You're making yourself cry. Okay. Your twin is not dragging you through the mud. And if you feel that way, you need to take a step back and kind of think of it, because there's times when we can be in a very karmic derived relationships that get very toxic very quickly, right? And it's not because they're karmics, it's because you have the karma in the situation. And a lot of people don't understand that. They just go to, oh, this is a karmic situation, blah, 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 blah. The word karma gets tossed around out there like nobody's business. And I think there's a lot of misinformation about what karma is, what karma looks like. Okay. So just make me look like my face is puffy. It is puffy. Anywho, I got distracted. I got distracted real quick. I don't know why this is. Oh, the sun is like super bright outside. Okay. I was like, why does it look like? Anywho, so if you come back to this place of realizing that how can I know that this is my twin? And some people are like, oh yeah, I had a twin and I'm over it. Let me tell you, it's not that easy. If you are over that person that you thought was your twin, it's probably not your twin. And I say that in the most kindest words. I have seen where someone has empowered themselves to where they're not obsessing about their twin, where they're not, breaking down because of their twin. But to say you're over it is just you telling yourself some bullshit. I don't think you can ever get over your twin in that aspect. I think your twin is a constant reminder every day, all day. Your twin is there. The thoughts of your twin, um, songs, their name pops up on things that you think it's the random stuff. You think it's random. It's not random. It's their higher self always sending you messages so that you do not forget them. And I think some people I've even have clients who get to the point where they feel like it's torture. Like, why am I being tortured like this? Why is this person, why won't they leave me alone? You got to remember the deeper aspect of it. It's not to torture you. It's not to make you sad. Um, in these moments when you get those kind of like, hey, I'm here, the higher self is like, hey, I'm here. You're supposed to just appreciate that, not be like, oh fuck, why are you talking to me again? Because your anger is what fucks it up, instead of being like, wow, I'm one of the few people in this world that consciously knows that the higher self of my person is sending me messages. And you don't have to just be twin flames for someone to send you messages. Okay. Your past loved ones do it. I posted yesterday about the book, Signs of the Universe, because it's a beautiful book, and it talks about a lot of these different aspects of people learning, like, damn, there is something on the other side. There's more to this life than what we know. So when you open up your mind to it, instead of being mad at those constant reminders of your person, remember that you're one of the few people who have this a connected soul or same soul, because depending on how you think the theory of twin flames is, whether it's two souls or connected souls, right? So you're one of the few people who have this person that feels you on a cosmic level just as much as you feel them. And you're mad because this person doesn't run to you. You're mad because this person doesn't feed your ego. You're mad because this person doesn't give in to your wants and needs right now. But if you let all of that go, most of the time, I'm telling twins is try to at least establish a friendship, because life without your twin gets pretty rough. We know this. If you're in a twin flame dynamic, life without contact, life without hearing their voice, it gets pretty rough, pretty damaging, right? So at least instead of working on or trying to work on a romantic relationship, friendship is the next best thing. But a lot of people can't do that. It's like, oh, I can't be my twin's friend. And I remember that. I remember that in like the first year, thinking to myself when I really started to, like, okay, I'm kind of getting, and it was like, can I just be my twin's friend? And I'm like, hell to the motherfucking hell to the nah. Hell nah. I don't want to be invited to his wedding. I will fucking spaz the fuck out. No. So it's like, can we be friends? And that is really hard, to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna be friends with this person that I fucking love, right? And I want to be with, because you do. There's not a twin that's like, oh, I don't want to be with my twin. Fuck my twin. You're only saying that because you're mad. You're only saying that because they didn't step up to the plate and they didn't show up for you. But again, you're requesting your twin to do something that do you even do for you? Most of the time, we're mad at our twin because they are doing the same shit we do, and we're not stepping up to the plate for ourselves. So, with all of the misguided information out there, don't go seeking a fucking twin, you guys. It doesn't matter if you have a twin. The fucking terms mean nothing at the end of the day. Um, I know some people are like, oh, is a twin better? And some people are in beautiful relationships and thinking maybe they should be looking for their twin. No, no, no. If you're with someone, and doesn't matter what the fuck relationship you have, love that person, connect with that person, be happy in that person with that person. Don't go looking for this ultimate fucking relationship, um, because it'll take you down a different path. And most likely you won't even find a twin. You'll just find a bunch of karma lessons. Okay. Um, I think certain people will get a twin in this life. Not everybody has a twin. There was a time where most twins did not come together. One stayed behind in spirit, the other one came to earth, and they did their work like that, where the other one stayed in spirit. So just kind of think like that. It would be the same concept. Your heart would always feel like, yes, there's something missing. Because I don't believe that. I know people say that you're supposed to get whole, and you're supposed to be this wholeness inside you, right? But on a huge, huge, huge level, I just believe that your twin holds a piece of your heart. I just do. That's how I feel. That's what I've come to realize, that no matter how healed you are, no matter how elevated you get, no matter how leveled and grounded you are, your twin has this piece of you that's always missing. And when they're around you, it is like you're complete. And I know that, the thing out there is not to be this codependent, needy, I need this person. But I have to disagree with a lot of people that say, because there is that piece that's like, and I've just seen it in my own, connection where I've fought to be this independent. I'm not codependent, not that I used to be, I don't need no one. Now I know that I need people in my life and I want people in my life, and it's different. I've transferred, trying to open my heart space up. But I also know that with around my twin, there's a completeness within me. It just is. And it's unexplainable sometimes. So I think that's the bullshit some people tell themselves, that no matter what, and a lot of people get mad. You don't need anyone to be whole. You actually don't need anyone to be happy, because I choose to be happy every day. But I still can't stray away from the fact that there's a piece of me that's missing on a daily. But when I'm with my twin, that's different. You can't kind of deny that. So when someone says that they're over their twin or that they're done, I kind of feel like that might not be your twin flame, right? So again, you don't have to go looking for a twin. You don't have to go searching for a twin. Also, one of the huge things that I always tell everyone, if you are looking for a twin, what is your purpose? And are you sitting in your purpose? Now, some people are. Some people are like, yeah, I'm in my purpose. I found my purpose. Most of the time, your twin is what pushes you to your purpose. You find your purpose through your twin. It's with that energy that you start to seek information, right? And people think the separation phase is crazy, right? Where it's like, oh my God, the separation phase is crazy. But that first initial separation phase is what sends you to look for answers, right? That's what sends you to look for answers. You don't have the answers. You're like, I'm going crazy. I'm obsessive as fuck. And some of y'all done went crazy, like stalking people and shit. Some of y'all done did some crazy shit with this twin flame stuff. Y'all done got blocked, okay? Some of you guys then went real crazy, and it can get obsessive like that. But this is where your self-control comes into it. This is where you get tested. This is where you get tested beyond measure. What will you do? Will you invade somebody's privacy? Will you go watch somebody's house and shit? Will you go on their social media? Will you pull cards on them when you know that you shouldn't? Will you go get readings to see what's going on in this person's life? And let me tell you, we've all been there, me included. I'm not excluded, especially in the beginning when I didn't understand. I didn't understand shit. And I had lesson after lesson, because Spirit was just looking at me like, okay, we're gonna throw you around. And I literally would pull cards, and it's crazy, even before I knew of birth charts. So that's why I tell people, get to know your birth chart, because I didn't know. Like, I would come out as the Queen of Swords, and I would be like, what the fuck am I the Queen of Swords? I'm a fire sign, and when I learned tarot in the beginning, all of them would read it per sign. So if like the fire, the wands came out, if you were the Queen of Wands, it's fire, your fire sign. And so I'd be like, who the fuck is this, Queen of Swords? And that's my ass. I'm a Gemini moon. So when it comes, and I have strong Virgo in my chart, which is ruled by Mercury, which is a lot of thoughts, all in the brain, all in the mental, very motherfucking smart, right? So when you don't know your own information, and you go to people who don't have the same higher level information, you're going to be all confused. You're going to be like, what the fuck is this? And that's the learning lessons, is like, stop going to people who don't fucking know. If they don't know twin flames, don't go to them. Because they will give you a ton of fucking bullshit and be like, oh, that's the X. Because Queen of Swords is normally the X energy. She normally is the person who's been through some shit also. Hence my persona, right? So it's just like, Then the Queen of Coins would come out. And I would be like, who the fuck is the Queen of Coins? Who the fuck is this earth sign? you know, and he would come out as the king of pentacles, and it'd be like, who the fuck is this earth sign? Who the fuck is this Taurus? You know, and come to find out, you know, his north node is like Taurus or some shit. My north node is Virgo, to be exact. Um, so there's a lot of things that come into play when you're looking at charts and energies, and when you're looking at tarot. There's so much back information in tarot, but if you don't have someone who's skilled enough to read in that way, you're going to get a very superficial reading. And people are going to be like, yeah, that's a karmic that's in their life. But as a twin flame, you are an emperor and an empress. But before you get to the stage of being the emperor and the empress, you got to be all of the kings and queens. All four kings and queens create or make the empress and the emperor, right? And so if you don't understand that, you'll go through thinking different people are coming out and different personalities, because you guys got different personalities and different times you portray different energies, right? So again, if somebody is not skilled in that aspect, they could be reading a totally different read and telling you that there's somebody else in there. Now, did my twin have somebody else? I don't fucking know, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care to know. I don't care to go back to the past to see if there was someone else or even dwell on it, because again, in the beginning, it was like, what the fuck is this? And I'm pretty sure if I was going through it on my end, he has his own story to tell on that. You know, I think we get too bottled up in a lot of shit. I just remember, like, you know, looking back, even my Venus is in Capricorn, so it made sense of why the Queen of Coins was coming out. But again, we're not. You have to go beyond what you think you know. With the twin flame dynamic, you have to get beyond what you think you know, and if you can do that, you will start to chip away and work through your own ego, your own shit. I always talk about there's moments where my twin has gone through his own stuff, and I've had to check myself from being too, it's all about me in this moment, even though he's making it clear that he is not in a space. You know what I mean? And so instead of taking that personally, like it's against me, you have to take a step back and say, okay, they're not ready. So that means there's some more that we need to do. Not, oh, they're ready, they're not ready, but I'm ready and I'm more elevated than that person. That's not how it goes. I have seen year after year, Spirit has shown me that I have not been the elevated person or the more elevated person that I thought I was. Or, you know, and then last year I was kind of out of that ego space, because I had realized that in 2020 I was very much in this ego, like, you know, I'm all high and mighty and my twin needs to catch up kind of shit. And by 2021 is where I realized that I was like, holy shit, I'm still very emotionally immature. And that was one of the last things that I needed to work on. And I'll say one of them, because I still have things I'm working on today. I'm not perfect, you guys. I'm right there with you, and the dynamics still working, still chipping shit off, right? But it was, I realized at the beginning of 2021, I realized that I was still emotionally immature, and I was still emotionally manipulative to a certain point. And I hadn't realized that about myself until the beginning of 2021. And I was like, holy shit. I didn't even realize that that was something that I was projecting or being. And in those moments of not having my way, I could flip my emotions really quickly and then take it out on my twin flame. And I have to say that my twin has been a very patient and understanding person, to deal with my craziness. And hasn't like blocked me and cut me off, because man, that would have been crazy. But and I commend him for that, because I sit and look back like, why the fuck did you keep talking to me? Like, man, I would have had to be like, girl, you crazy as fuck. Let me stop talking to you. You're crazy. So you got to get past what you think you know. And you got to stop being angry. You really have to turn your attention on yourself. There's no other way. but turning the attention on self. Self-awareness is key. And you got to learn, how are you speaking to someone? How are you talking to someone? How are you showing up for someone? Um, how are you coming off? Like, are you understanding and loving and patient? And people don't want to be patient. It's like, well, no, I want this right now. I want my twin right now. I want a family right now. And you know, the things that I would tell people is like, well, if you want kids right now, or you want to get married right now, that's most likely not going to be your twin flame. It's a reality. The twin flame dynamic doesn't go on your time. It really does not go on your time. It goes on the divine timing, the whatever that is, whatever that plan that was put in place. And the divine is a higher level than you, right? So most of the time we're trying to go against divine timing. And some people are like, well, if I can manifest, why can't I manifest this? And it's because you're missing the lessons. You can't manifest or skip over the lessons. You can't skip over these huge internal shit. If you haven't done the soul work, you can't get to the finish line. It just ain't gonna work like that. Okay, let me say that again. You cannot skip over your own soul work. So sometimes I have to tell people, especially in the sessions where it's like, no, you really have to let go. There was a part of me that was just like, man, I'm getting older. The more I wait for my twin, I maybe like lose chances to have a kid, and like, am I ever going to get married? And I had to let go of all of these things that had me constantly worrying, constantly overly obsessing about what I may or may not have. And where did that come from? And I had to think, where does this come from? Well, it comes from society. Society tells me I need to have this by this, by this, by then. So I had to break down a lot of my belief systems that I did not understand. So last year was this huge, huge, huge moment for me where I released that and just said, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Maybe it's meant to be. Because if not, I would need to let my twin go and like go get that relationship that I want, that person who's ready to marry me right now, that person who's ready to have kids right now. And in my heart space, it was just like, yeah, no. In your dynamic, you will always have to face some things that you are willing to let go. And it's willing to let go the outcome of if and when it happens. Because if you are focused on, I want a kid, I need a kid, I want a kid, I need a kid, you might as well go get someone else, because it most likely will not be your twin right now. A lot of twin flames have kids from other people because of that reasoning, right? And it doesn't say it's any less. Those kids are not any less because they're from other people, but the contracts are there. The contracts are there for those children to be born. But you have to let go of some of the things that you are wanting right now so that you can work. And you have to get through your own soul shit. Don't ever sit and think that you are more elevated than your twin because you fucking know some spirituality shit. Mm. Don't ever think that you are the one waiting on them to get their shit together. That's a horrible misconception and a horrible place to be, because that means you are not doing your fucking work. Constant elevation means that you are constantly looking at self. Self-awareness is key to fucking growth. Okay, you cannot go through an evolution without self-awareness. It doesn't fucking happen. So you have to keep going back to self. How am I showing up? Do I still have shitty behaviors? Do I still have shitty ways about myself? Am I standing in my integrity? Am I my authentic self? Am I showing up the way I need to show up in life? Am I in my fucking purpose? That's the first thing you should ask yourself. You shouldn't even ask yourself, where's my twin? Am I in my purpose? Not just living, existing, having fun, having a beautiful life. What are you doing for humanity? And I always say this. People who want to be twin flames, what are you doing for humanity? The twin flame energy comes to this planet to assist the collective in humanity, to change lives. And so how are you doing that? We don't have to change the world, but if you change people that are in your radar, that you can change, that you can put this something into place that you can help assist, right? Then you're doing what you need to do. And that should be the primary goal. What is my fucking purpose? My twin came to wake me up. That's what you should be saying. Everything else will either fall in place when the time comes. I've noticed that there are some times where I have realized some shit, right? And then boom, it's like my twin appears. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? So that's what made me realize that I wasn't as elevated as I thought I was. And that I still had to do some work, because how could I just do this work and boom, here was my twin? It just was the craziest concept. So it was just like, okay, spirit, I'm listening now. So last year I had one of the biggest transformative years I've ever had in my healing, which was really getting into my heart space. And the more I got into my heart space, whew, the more profound my life has been. Um, so again, you will be the one who knows who your twin is. And nobody else can tell you. People can tell you what they fucking want to tell you. They can feel all day long, oh, I don't feel that's your twin. And I don't, okay, let them say that. You know your heart and your being. You, and only you, will truly, truly know. Can people tell you what's going on a little bit? Yes. Can people give you possible outcomes? Yes. But I would stray away from outcomes, because energy changes like water. It's fluid. It changes. It's ever changing. Okay. Don't get too caught on timelines. I hear a lot of people talking about timelines. Don't get caught up on timelines. Who gives a fuck how many times? The biggest thing that Spirit has taught me is stop being too far in the future and stop living in the past. Stay in the present moment. The present moment is where you show up. Being here right now is going to create and manifest that future. So if you're not paying attention to right now, if you're not sitting in this moment right now and like living, then what is your future going to look like? Stop going too far into that timeline. Okay. You got to be here, right now. This is the most important time of your life, right here, right now. People get too caught up in the timelines and the destination. The destination doesn't mean shit. It's the fucking journey. And I've said this a lot in my path. It's the journey that's everything. Everything that you go through, all your trials, all your tribulations, all of this shit is what creates this beautiful journey that you've been, that you can look back on one day. But right now, it's being in the present moment. What does that look like? Sometimes you just need to show up for you. Some of you guys want to heal your twin. It's not your job to heal your twin. Some of you guys, you want to save your twin. It's not your job to save your twin. You know who you need to heal? You. You know who you need to save? You. You know who you need to show up for? You. Some of you guys will still go through of putting your twin first and put yourself to the side. That's not how it works. You got to show up for you. You have to be the one to say, I love myself just as much as I love that damn twin. Because if you don't love yourself the same that you love that twin, you haven't changed. You haven't grown. You haven't evolved. You haven't learned. You're still in the same place. You're willing to sacrifice yourself for that person. Lots of lessons. I will do another part to the twin flame dynamic, but I wanted to bring up some of these things because I've seen it. And I really want you guys to grow in your dynamics. I want you to grow, and I want you to understand. And you really, really, really have to put your time and effort into you. You really have to take the moment to take care of yourself. Okay. That's how it is.